Hi and welcome to How to Use CAD. For today's tutorial we're going to design a detailed section for a timber staircase. By the end of the lesson you should be familiar with the various elements and standard sizes that make up a staircase, so you should have no difficulty in creating your own detailed sections for staircases. Okay, for this project you can see I've done very little preparation, and there's a few reasons for that, but the main one is it's such a lovely project. We get a lot of queries around staircases, so in simple terms it's just the basic component parts of making up a staircase. I think we're going to start off with a very simple straight staircase, go from one level to another. So first thing you have to do is you have to work out what the level is. So what we need to do is, if this is say the ground floor level and we want to get to that level, then we know the height is 2721, which is a little bit tall for an average staircase. Average room say 2.4, 2.5. By the time you add the floor in, it climbs up another 200 or so, so 2721. So now what we have to, if we consider that 2721, I'm going to write that in here, 2721, so we don't forget it. Now if we consider that this is 2 treads that I've done and 2 risers, so this is 1 step. So in fact the average, this is a starting average. In other words, the most comfortable step for going up a stairs in a residential home is about 180 mil, and that would include the thickness of the tread and the height of the riser, so that the combination of the two should take you about 180 mil. So what we're going to do here is we're going to divide 2721. So 2721 divided by 180 equals, it's just over 15 treads. So we're going to make 15 steps, I should say. Yeah, so we're going to make 15 steps. So let's just start off. That's what I say. So I prepared these. Let me just get rid of these markings. Oh, by the way, yeah, because I haven't discussed it, the actual tread, which is the bit that you step on as you go up the stairs, is generally the most comfortable one is 230, 240. It could be 220 as well if space is tight. So if you can see here now, the measurement here from the back is 230, but from the front it's actually 240. So we get a 240 tread, but in fact we don't use up, because the riser is set back 10 mil, it ends up being 230. So what we're going to do now is kick off, and I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. So I'm going to take off all the measurements here, and we're using 18 mil for the thickness of the support, the riser, and 18 mil for the actual tread. So pretty much standard. It's pretty much standard today, yeah. So we can get rid of that. So now we've got 1 tread and a riser. So I'll get rid of that as well. So let's see, I think the best way of doing this might be to work backwards rather than work forwards. So let's see, copy and paste, Control C. Yeah, I think we're going to work down. I didn't plan this out, so it's just like it's your own project. So now we can do 2. Once you've actually done the first 2, it's quite simple. It's quite quick also. So now you can see we're working working the stairs quite quickly. And we're going to work down, and we're going to work down from up here. So let me just there we go, pop that on. Now that's that's probably not right at the moment, but we're going to move it again in a few minutes. But the reality is it'll serve our needs fine for what we need to do. So if I can grab a bigger chunk. Right. D. See how quick it is to do the stairs when you've got a few to do, or a few done. You've got a few steps done, it's easy enough. See, we've done enough already. So now what we're going to do is fix here. Now normally this riser sits on top of these timbers. So these timbers would be, so the joists are running that way, and then these timbers are put here. These are called trimmers, by the way. I had a mental block there for a few seconds. I was trying to figure out what they were called. So let's see what we're going to do here. Now, so we're going to move in. So effectively what happens is this step gets cut. This thread gets cut here. So we're going to go now. That's it. Oops-a-daisy. Now you get the picture. You'd have floorboards here, floorboard. So now let's check the heights. As you can see, the heights were slightly out, and we knew we would be. So now how we deal with that, and bear in mind this is the design phase. So how we deal with that is take that out. And we notch it up a little. Now check the height of a riser. 212. So we went from 180, oh no, that's wrong. That's too high for sure. Do it again. $194. So as I say, 180 is the norm. 190 is an extra 10 mil on the step. So if you found that was perhaps too much, say an elderly couple, etc., then you've got the choice. You can add on another step and reduce. So let's see what that would be like if we did that. Rather than stretch, we just add on a step. So let's make another copy, I think. Let's make another copy of the whole thing. Now what we do is we grab all of it again. We have to include this one. And we pull it up to the floor. And now by adding an extra step, what have we got? 180. Well, the target was 180. So let's see if we really got 180. 197. I think we're 1 mil out. 180 per tread. That's generally what it would be seen as, 180 per tread. So that's a perfect stairs. Now let's check the actual where the shoe goes. Let's see where that goes. 220. Okay. Well, now if you have the space down here, let's assume the floor is so what you could do now is we can extend the stairs a little bit this way. So it's on 220, so what I'll do now is make another copy and I'm going to stretch the stairs a little bit the other way. So how many steps did we say we had? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've got 14 and they're 220. So 14 and an extra 18 mil. So let's see, 18 multiplied by equals 252. Let me get that right now. We've got so what we want to do is just push them out, and we want to add another 18 mil per step. So I'm going to have to count again. I think it was 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 at 18 mil. 14 multiplied by 18 brings it out 252. So we need to move forward 252. Tab 252. Not sure if that's going to be. It's going to be very close. And we're going to move it to here. Right, now we check out the size of the tread. .240. It's absolutely perfect. So the reality is that's a perfect stairs. 240 for the treads, 180 for the risers. So what can I say? I'm really pleased with that. And you've seen how it sits. You've seen how it sits up here, how it connects up to the existing floorboards. The last riser sits up on the trimmers, and of course I'm not going to show you the underside, as in putting it together and so on and so forth. I don't need to do that. This is about the design rather than the construction. So now if I take away these measurements, this is the perfect stairs. Now the next thing we would do is to sort out the string. So for example, just take off auto for a minute. Do it the other way around, I think, because we'll have a sharp edge. Alright, so if I go, might as well go all the way to the bottom. It should line up. It doesn't. Oh yeah, because it needs, of course it doesn't. It needs another tread to line up. Don't worry, I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So I can do it to this one. And they all measure. Now, what what we're going to do is we're just going to put a tread on, but the tread doesn't sit like that. But I needed the straight line first, so the tread would be perhaps tab 50 down. I'm going to do that again. Tab -5 or not? Yeah, that's better. And then they're usually about 9 inches, so 9 inches converts to 228. So let's see what 228 looks like. Tab 228. Yeah, it's not great. It's okay. Well, I'd like it to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make it 10 inches. A 10-inch string, because we've got the steps on maximum capacity, so that's 254. For the string, get rid of that, and we're going for tab 254. So that's the thickness of the string So now what we're going to do, it's a bit larger than average. Generally I think they're about 9 inches, so we might have to go up just a touch. Let's see if we go up 1 inch. It's generally 25 mil. Tab 25. That's more in keeping with traditional sizes. And now we want to run this up. So to run it up, I would use this one. Run it up as we need to. And again, run this up till it hits the bottom of the ceiling. This one needs to run down. Just to make sure you know what tool I'm using here. I'm using the modify tools, and I'm using the line length tool. So sometimes I'm doing the detailed sections, but I forget that. I'm perhaps not explaining the tools as much as I would do if it was a bona fide AutoCAD or TurboCAD tutorial. Well, it is, because we're using CAD, but it's not the focus is not entirely on teaching you the CAD tools, put it that way. So right, let's see if I can use the line tool again now. So again now, so what happens now is, if you had, say, 7 inch, 8 inch, say 9 inch skirting on the ground floor, that'd be 228 mil. So let's get a bit of skirting going. I'll show you how it would fit in. Tab 228. So normally what would happen now is that this gets cut in to each other. So in our case, we're just going to take the simple route and do it like so. And up here, if we use a 9 inch skirting again, 228, tab 228. Seems a little high, but let's assume it could be a 7 inch skirting. So I extend the line again with the line tool, and I'd rather do that. I'd rather overextend and then use the meet two lines tool to get it absolutely right. So there you are. Now you've got a perfectly built staircase that matches the criteria, which was 2721. It's perfectly formed. It's got lovely treads of 240 and it's got lovely risers of 180. And 180 now would be from here to there. So let's put a few little bits and pieces in. I'm going to have to scale it down, I'm afraid, because it won't fit our standard box as it is now. So it shouldn't be too hard. Let me just make a copy here. So, as I've mentioned in various tutorials, I usually bring in an existing section just so we can cannibalize some of the elements so that we're not making everything from scratch. Oh, by the way, we've added a bit of color to the detail section so it matches up with our YouTube color. And I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but these detail sections of mine, they're all available on detailsections.co.uk. So when you start up, you're providing proper architectural services. That's where you go to get detailed sections, assuming you don't want to draw your own. Right, so let's tidy up a little now. Going to tidy up just a touch, and then we scale it down to fit in the box. That's not quite right. Take off auto for a minute. I don't know what it is about staircases, but I actually enjoy doing them. We've got more complicated ones, you know, turning left, turning right, at the bottom, at the top. So we'll be doing those in the near future. So let's see if I can cannibalize something here. Oh yeah. Cannibalize that line. That's what I was after. Just saves me anything that cuts down the time. I just want to neaten this up a little. There we go, and I need to do the same at the top. Realistically, oops, get my auto back on. Lose that. There we go, and just pull that to there, and pull another one here. Right, so now what we've got to do is rescale it to fit in my box, and then we'll add a little annotations to word of warning before you rescale, use the keep aspect ratio. That should help you, because if you don't, I think you'll have a problem. Now let's see if it works again. Sometimes it doesn't work the second time. There you go, that's gorgeous. So now what we do is we put in a few notes. And just naming the elements. Did I Did I do the wrong one, by the way? I didn't, did I? I was getting worried there that I'd forgotten the string. So, right. Get rid of this lot. Oops, not that lot. Get rid of that. And now we just do a bit of naming here. So, what have we got? Copy now. First off, straight timber staircase. Oh, thank you. I should have looked, isn't it? There we go. We even got the spelling right. Otherwise you'd be leaving me comments. Oh Tom, you got the spelling all wrong. Which wouldn't be great. I find these detailed sections very therapeutic. I actually look forward to doing one. My biggest problem is deciding which one I'm going to do. But beyond that, it's pretty easy. Right, so we're going to, basically all I want to do is string. I want to put 3 in, so they're very simple. So we're going to go, let's get rid of the caps now. String. HREAD. Need 2 more. Is that's actually stud. It's T-U-D. Best way of putting that would be J-O-I-S-T, joist trimmers. And then I've got skirting. Might have to rechange the numbers here, but we'll see in a minute. You know, you have to pick the best spot to place these elements. Right, so I'd like, I think, to do them, just draw a line about here and then start setting them up. And the first one I'd set up would be the trimmers. So yeah, I will be renumbering joist trimmers. After that, string, space them out a bit decent, tread, then skirting. Like I said, I could have gone at the same angle, but we have loads of space, so I guess I want to use it up. Right, so trimmers. String, work backwards, I think. We're talking about string here. Right, then we're talking about riser. Then we're talking about tread. And then we're talking about skirting. Right, so getting there. Need to put a line in here to keep them nice and neat. When you're making your own detailed sections, what the nice thing is that when you've made one, you'll be using it indefinitely, you know, for years and years. So in other words, in my view, then it's worth giving it that extra few minutes when you're designing it to attention to detail. This is skirting, so that one is going down. So I'm doing a line down. We'll keep that one running similar to the staircase. Right, so now let me get my line tools out here. Oh, nice one, it's done the wrong one. Well, it hasn't, I have. Yeah, let's not blame the tools, eh? Alright. So now we need a few balls. Oops, yeah, we need to line tools first. And the joist trimmers I've done. I could have done that at an angle. I think it might be better because it'd be in keeping with the others. There we go. Right, so we need some black balls, and that's where we cannibalize from. Black ball. We're nearly done. You can go have a cup of tea. It's not in the right area, was it? Would have been better to use to join two lines. Yeah, better. Right, so now we need another few balls. I think I've got it already, but just in case. Right, so we want it on the string. We want it on the riser. And we want it on the tread. We want it on the skirting. that's it. So now a little bit of editorial. Let's see if I can move all of it down just a touch. Yes, and move this one back up again. Just check if I was reasonably central. Now I think I've got a little bit of editorial to add here. Let's see if I can find it quickly. I should have prepared it earlier, but I didn't. So now I have to little hunt for a moment. So bear with me. Staircase, I'm looking it up here in my building regs. Internal works. Stairs. That's what I wanted, so I've got some editorial to put in. And that'll be a multi-text box. And that's going to be in, oops. So, what have I done? I'm going to do that again, because I don't know what I did wrong. Need to change it to Segoe, and we're going to make it 40. That's it. That's pretty gorgeous. I'm looking and I'm seeing that the staircase perhaps could have gone a little bit more to the side. Let's see if we can in fact do that. Then I can position this better. It's all in the detail, as I'm sure you know. Okay, we're just about there. Should we expand this just a touch? That's it, we're done. So it's another detail section to add to the our detail sections store. Okay, so if you should be now familiar with the elements for a basic staircase, so keep an eye out, because we're going to be doing you know, left turn, right turn, and more complex stair designs. Well, I wanted to start off on a very simple one and show you how we move from one floor to another to create the staircase. So now what happens is we would know the exact measurements for the height, and then for the width, the depth of the stairs. We would know it all if we were designing this for a client. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for joining me on this one. If you've got any comments, I'd appreciate, providing they're good ones. Keep an eye out for, well, I would say subscribe, so that you can get notified for the next videos. But in any case, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you in one of the videos in the near future.